Ice is ready, and we are back with another episode of the Empty Netters podcast, brought to you by BetMGM. I am your host, Dan Powers, and with me is a man who believed in Santa Claus until the 6th grade, and I still think he might have a little bit of belief left in him, Chris Powers.
How could you not, Dan? As always.
How could you not?
How could you not? I wake up, there are presents under the tree.
Who brought them?
Who brought those there?
Who brought them? You're itching for presents. You're itching for Santa.
Yep.
And I'll tell you what, CP, we're itching for hockey talk.
Yes.
We're itching for some hockey talk. It's been a fun summer. We're doing a lot of stuff. We got the movie reviews. We got guests. We got this and that. But we needed some hockey talk, so we brought in a fucking ringer.
We brought in the ringer.
Dave Goucher. Unbelievable man. The voice of the Boston Bruins for a while. And now the voice and face of the Vegas Golden Knights. And listen, the Vegas Golden Knights have some things cooking.
You say it. I can't remember if you say it in the recording, but it's funny to hear him.
It was crazy.
Just talking, not being...
It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my God, you sound amazing.
I'm like, good Lord, his voice is incredible. So I want to grace you all with, I mean, listen, guys, don't worry. This is just some hockey talk. This is hardly an interview. We talk about Goucher's, I mean, he's got an amazing career, but we're just chopping shit up, talking about hockey, emphasis on Vegas because they got Mitch Marner and they are cooking with gas.
God, biggest move of the summer.
So let's kick it to Dave Goucher and enjoy this hockey talk. All right, well, we are being joined by a Pawtucket native, a BU grad where he also began his broadcasting career calling the Beanpot, Hockey East Championship, and the 1993 Frozen Four. He was on the Providence Bruins radio call when they won the Calder Cup in 99, on the Bruins play-by-play when they won the Cup in 2011, currently the TV play-by-play voice for the Vegas Golden Knights, who of course won the Cup in 2023. He has also called MLB playoffs and a Super Bowl, which Tom Brady won, of course. He was named the Associated Press of New England's top radio play-by-play in 03, 06, and 07, and he won the Associated Press Best Sports Broadcaster Award in 2006. Dave Goucher, welcome to the Empty Netters podcast.
Hi, boys. If I hear all that crap, I just think I'm getting old. That's all, Dude, older by the day.
That is a humble man right there. Because
Yeah.
I hear that shit, and I'm like, put this guy in the Hall of Fame yesterday. Good Lord.
And Dan, we've done, what is this, like episode 217. That's one of the longest distinguished intros we've ever done.
I also, like, it's so funny. I mean, I still today will just, in my head, hear your call when the Bruins stormed back and beat Toronto in Game 7. And hearing the Bergeron call just like echoes in my brain consistently. Yeah. And it was then when you went to Vegas and they won, where I was like, this man is a golden ticket, dude. Yeah. Like, you need to be signed by a new team every year because you just bring ships. We got Providence, we got Boston, we got Vegas. This is crazy.
Well, the funny part is that the Bergeron thing, I just think I'm yelling like a banshee, like just a crazy person. But I was shocked they won.
Of course.
Yeah. It's also like, I always love that story. I don't know if you've heard it. It's a Joe Buck story where he was calling the Mark McGuire 70 or whatever it was, like 60-second home run, whatever. And he was planning it. And then when it happened, McGuire missed first when he rounded first base. And then he said something like, touch first, Mark, you're the new home run champion. And he was like, after that, I never tried to plan something. Yeah. And I think that is such a great lesson because it's like what you just said. It's like the genuine reaction are always the best ones. They're so.
Yeah. You know what? It's funny, guys. I'm not a big fan of kind of overthinking it. And in that one, there was no time to be honest with you, because they were down 4-1 with 10 minutes left. So nobody thought they were going to do what they did, I heard Doc Emmerich tell us, we all love Doc, right?
Yeah.
And he said to me once that Vin Scully said to him, when it comes to big moments, like a cup or a championship, you probably should give it a little thought, but don't overthink it. Like you can't. And so sure enough, I figured, well, Christ, if it's good enough for Doc Emmerich and Vin Scully, it's good enough for a dope like me. So, but so.
No,
but the funny part about you ran down the Calder Cup and the two Stanley Cup things, they were each of them were exactly 12 years apart. So the P Bruins was 99, Bruins was 11, VGK was 23. So I don't know, 12 years from now, well, I'll be retired by then. But
No, dude, you're on something here. 2035, we got to get eyes on. Like, there'll be a new Bettman will launch a new team. You know, Houston will get their team or something. 2035, you'll get the job. It's an immediate cop.
It'll be a new Arizona team. It'll be a perfect retirement home for you, Goucher.
Yeah, they'll go to Atlanta again.
Yeah, you'll be. Yeah, seriously. You can do the broadcast from the golf course. It'll be perfect.
Yeah, there you go. Remotely. That's what we all do now.
Yeah, right. Look at us. Look at us now. Yeah. Amazing. Well, Goucher, to talk about, I want to open with some Vegas stuff. This summer, Marner was, the big big ticket in free agency, right? And that core four in Toronto couldn't get it done for whatever reason. I have my opinion. Everyone's got an opinion of what went wrong there. But you guys won the Cup in 2023, and since then, slightly underperformed, in my opinion. Like, you've had a Cup team, that hasn't been able to get over the hump, and then you guys go out, and I obviously ended up being a trade, but you bring in this guy, Mitch Marner, who hasn't had a ton of playoff success so far in his career, but again, maybe that's a Toronto thing. From your POV, up in the Section 16, right? Section 16 up there.
You got it. Yeah.
What is bringing in a guy like Marner for a team like Vegas that has thrived with depth and like rolling lines? What does bringing a guy like him do for that squad in your eyes?
Yeah, I think, Chris, well, here, a couple of things. One is I don't think they could just run it back the way they did.
Agree.
The phrase that I just kind of keeps popping in my mind is they needed a DNA change. They needed to tweak it a little bit. To your point, Cup in 23, first round and out against Dallas the next year, second round out against Edmonton this past year. In both of those scenarios, the goals dried up. They scored one goal in the final two games of the playoffs each of the last 2 years. So I think they needed to do something significant. Now, I would say, and I'm with you, that the teams that Marner's been on in Toronto haven't done anything in the playoffs. But I think I was looking at it. He's almost a point-a-game player in the playoffs.
Yeah.
He is.
Sneaky.
Right?
Goucher, I say that all the time.
So,
it's like I was actually just having a conversation with Johnny Laz, and when we were saying what players in the league get the most hate that they don't deserve from their fan base, and the discussion started because of Marner in Toronto.
Yeah.
And the whole knock on him is playoffs, but he is a playoff performer. And then look at Four Nations, too. Like, makes the unbelievable play, game-winning assists. It's like, I don't think he deserves this flack as much as he gets it.
I think he'll benefit a lot, guys, from I can just kind of compare it. Like, Jack Eichel took a ton of heat in Buffalo.
Yeah.
And he came to Vegas, and he was able to leave all that behind, And, he went from a guy that had never made the playoffs to making the playoffs in Vegas and winning it the first year he got in, right? And led the league in scoring in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I think, or I guess I hope anyways, that Marner can kind of benefit from the same thing. Look, I say this about playing in Toronto, having been in the league for a while now. There's no city in the league. I mean, I guess you could say Montreal because they get it in two languages, but in terms of scrutiny, it's not even. And I think, I haven't talked to Marner at all about this, but that playing for your hometown team can be a blessing and a curse.
Yes.
Agree.
And I've got to believe there's a part of him that's just looking forward to going and just playing hockey and without all the scrutiny. Vegas is, there's a lot of attention, obviously, that's paid to that team for a lot of reasons. But I would tell you this, having, worked in Boston for a long time, and the scrutiny is not nearly what it is in not even just Toronto. I'd say Boston or Montreal or New York or Philadelphia. There's an ability there to play. I had somebody say to me once that, in Toronto, there's no middle ground, right? Either everything's great or everything sucks.
Yeah.
There's and you've got 30 people in there every day asking you why everything's great or everything sucks. Well, I think that can get tiring. And now when it's going great, maybe there's no better place to play. But when it's not going great, I think that can be, that can wear on you. And so I hope for him, it's a fresh start at still a young age. And, I ran into Jack Eichel at a golf tournament recently, and he was saying he doesn't know Marner that well, but, they've had a few chats, and that's pretty intriguing to think about, a line with those two guys and figure out who's going to play left wing.
Absolutely. I mean, you're so right too on when things are going well and not going well in Toronto. I also think that margin for error is so razor thin as well, right? It's like things can be, you could be second in the Atlantic, and there'd still be fans who are like, we suck, and it's all the players' faults. So it's just brutal. But, I've said it a million times. I think we saw it at Four Nations. I think you see it in the playoffs. I think Jack Eichel is, I think he is truly one of the best players alive. And the just vision he has, the passing he has, I know Marner has been more of a setup man himself, but it's like all of a sudden now you got both of those guys hopefully on a line together who will be setting each other up. And it's like, I think you got the makings of a Draisaitl McDavid type of vibe. Seriously.
That's the running joke is somebody's going to have to shoot the puck. But,
and that's true. That's true.
But no, I agree. Look, I think, and just to pick up on what you're saying about Jack, I knew a little bit because I went to BU, as you mentioned, all those years ago, but long before Jack was there, 20 years before Jack was there. But having, I was in Boston at the time and got to see a fair amount of his games.
Yeah, of course.
But to see him play, now 80 to 90 to whatever it is, 100 times a year, how far they go in the playoffs. His ability to, you mentioned, playmaking, his skating ability, his ability to hold guys off. He kind of welcomes the contact. Sometimes he wants guys to come at him so he can roll off them. Mm-hmm. And just his competitiveness. Yeah. They're pretty special, and I think for him now, you go from winning it to a couple of early exits, not just him, but I think the guys that have been here the last several years in Vegas, there's a hunger the expectation out there, guys, and you've seen it, is through the roof. But they built that by how good they've been since the beginning. And I think you'd much rather have that than just apathy, right? Like, I think that would be the worst. So
for sure.
Hopefully they can take some good steps forward this year.
Yeah. I do want to know, Goucher, how fast do you feel the sort of kinship to the team? You're a New England guy, went to a Boston school, you won a Stanley Cup with the Boston Bruins in 2011, and you move to this new team. But when you're just in it, you're looking at the guys every day, you're analyzing their gameplay every day. How quickly do you feel a part of that team, community, franchise, the whole thing?
Yeah, it didn't take long, to be honest with you, the DP. Like you get out there. Here's the funny part. You don't think the team, it's easy to sit here now in the summer of 2025, but go back to the summer of 2017. Nobody thought, thought they'd be bad for a few years.
Yeah, for sure.
Shane Knighty, my broadcast partner, we tell this story a lot, but they started 8-1 that year. And, go back to the shootings October 1, like before they even played a game, they had to deal with all this, right?
Yeah.
And the team was unbelievable in the community, trying to make people feel just a little bit better. And I think we tried to do that with our broadcast. Look, and I had kind of lived through all the Boston Marathon bombings in 2013. And the Bruins, that was the year they lost at Chicago in the final. Mm-hmm. And that was the whole David Ortiz, this is our effing city, right? Like
incredible.
Teams can help, even if it's for a couple hours a day, right? It's not a cure-all, and it's not supposed to be, but you can give people something else to think about, right? And so I think the team in Vegas, I know the team in Vegas, they were able to do that right away, coming off, just a horrendous tragedy. But they won a lot of games early, and Shane and I used to joke around, not on television, but we'd be like, well, this is great, but where the hell are they going to be at Thanksgiving? And Christmas? There's no way they can keep this crap up. And shows you how smart we are. And they just kept winning. So, so I that's the thing, guys. So it's a long way of saying you feel a part of it pretty quick, especially when you're there on the ground floor. That was one of the intriguing things about going there for me was A, it was television, but B, it was you were going to be part of the first broadcast team, one of these days somebody else will do it, but we were able to get there first. So we were lucky enough. So I think you felt pretty involved right away because the team's entrenched in the community.
It is a hockey town, Dig.
Huge.
It's
huge.
Doubt.
Awesome.
No doubt.
Yeah. They're huge on the Vegas-born stuff, right? You'll see Vegas-born bumper stickers all over the place. And I don't say this with any disrespect to the Raiders or the Oakland A's are coming in a few years. It is different. It is different. It's not a team that relocated. The Golden Knights are a team that sprung from nothing. And And meeting a lot of people over the last 8 years that have lived a long time in Vegas, they would tell you they were waiting for a long time to have their own team, because I think you get, there's a you kind of get pigeonholed. There's a stereotype about it. If you live in Vegas, your day to day is not going down to the strip and playing $5,000 a hand blackjack. It's like, what the hell are we talking about?
Yeah.
A, I'm too cheap.
Yeah.
B, I work too hard for it. It's just not your.
Yep.
I was on a duck boat once in Boston.
Yeah.
One time.
Once.
Yeah.
In June of 2011. I never walked the Freedom Trail.
Yeah.
I don't, you know what I mean? So it's, but people wanted their own identity away from the strip. And I think what helps build that is having a sports team. And the fact that this team's been incredibly successful is just, is even icing on the cake.
It is really cool. I mean, I love hearing all of that because, as we've started to do this job, we've had the pleasure of going to a bunch of cities, obviously being in Vegas for a couple of Stanley Cups. It's wild how much they have taken root in the community. And it's cool because, we talk to fans, like people are like, oh, where would a player want to live? Where do you like going? And we say Vegas all the time. And people are like, oh, aren't you exhausted? And I'm like, no, man, if you go to these towns that the guys live in, it's just beautiful. It's quiet. There's golf courses. There's pools. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Are you in Summerlin, Goucher?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tell people there's real people, real jobs, real communities, real families. Like it's not, it's a big hospitality. I get all that, but not everybody works on the strip. Like it's, the strip is, I want to say it's 4 miles long. It's not that big. Like Vegas isn't a big city.
Correct.
It's not Boston. It's not, nothing's New York or LA, I guess, but you know what I mean? Like, you're exactly right. I mean, I always say Summerlin's pretty much where all of us live. I say you could drop a net around a 6 mile radius and hit everybody that, I'm talking about broadcasters, coaches, players, some in bigger houses than others, but that's Mark Stone's house is probably a little bigger than mine, but that's okay.
A couple of garages look a little different, but that's basically it.
And what's in the garage. Yeah, exactly. But that's okay. It's the quality of life, right? I mean, have you guys been out there too?
Oh yeah. Tons.
Yeah. You know the deal. Like where we practice in Summerlin, there's 2 practice rings and that's where our team offices are. I mean, I drive 5 minutes from my house. I don't even get on. I go around a couple of rotaries and I don't know. It's a great quality of life, guys. That to me is what it comes down to, right?
It's amazing.
You guys, live in LA, right? That's not easy. I'm telling you guys, like,
yeah, no, it's it's huge. I mean, it's
10 miles turns into 3 hours, and you're ready to lose it.
I'm never leaving my house again.
It's crazy thinking about, we know obviously those guys really well, and they love playing there. But it's nuts when these guys, they're driving from the South Bay to downtown LA every day for a game. It's mental. But, talking about that family, the Vegas family, I wanted to bring up Pietrangelo. And, he obviously had this hip injury all year long. We actually remember talking to Ikes during Four Nations, and he was just saying pretty plainly, it's just a lot of hockey. It's like the guy has played a lot of hockey. And I do think a lot of people, they look at him, he's 35 years old, he's 2-time Stanley Cup champion, one with Vegas. And I think people are like, oh, yeah, Petro's a good player. But I feel like they don't realize how insanely important he is to that team and how good, like top tier, S tier level defenseman he is in the NHL. How brutal do you think that loss is going to be for this team, and what can they do possibly to make up for that hole in the lineup?
Yeah. And I don't know if you, honestly, DP, I don't know if you replace that. Like it's,
right? Like you can't.
I think where you'd miss him most is probably in the playoffs, because of his resume. He's kind of won everything you want to win, right? So, there's been a lot of talk about them trying to get Rasmus Anderson. It seems like that's kind of cooled off, I guess. I don't like, he's taken a beating physically. He's the hip thing. I think he was hoping last year with the hip thing at the because he skipped Four Nations because of it, and did some stuff to try to make it more manageable. And I guess it worked for a little while, but I was saying to somebody recently, when the Blues beat the Bruins in 19, he was dominant.
Oh,
he was, right?
It was awful.
But he was also 29, you know? So there's a lot of miles on those tires. So I don't know if their decor still, look, Hannafin's the guy that when they traded for him a couple of years ago and signed him to a long extension, he was pretty much earmarked as he was going to be the guy to take him through the next 7-8 years, whatever it's going to be.
Yep.
And they're still got a pretty dynamic decor with, him and Shea Theodore especially, and Braden McNabb's, fills just a vital role back there for them. I think they're hoping Caden Korzak can, Korzak's a guy that's just kind of been waiting in the wings, right? And whenever somebody would get hurt, Theodore broke his wrist at Four Nations, Pietrangelo missed time, they'd throw Korzak in and be fine, right?
Yeah.
But he's not Pietrangelo. But I guess you could make the argument Pietrangelo isn't Pietrangelo from a couple of years ago.
Well said. Yeah.
Yeah. It's very true.
So I don't know. I think they've probably would be by committee a little bit to try to fill that void. I think, and I don't know if they I don't know if they go and pick somebody up before the season. I mean, they've never been shy about adding people to the deadline, and they've done a hell of a job at it. Just they're not passive. They're aggressive. They're not the two. They're the other one. You know?
They're the latter in a big way. That is true.
Yeah. So when I think it's having been around it from the beginning, I think they may have, I don't know, they may have redefined how teams do it. They weren't going to sit there and because forever, and I get it, it was draft and develop your own players and then sprinkle in some free agents. The Bruins did it when they, that cup year, and then there was. You think about Krejci and Lucic and Marchand, you go right on, and Bergeron, you go right on down the list. I don't know about it now. I mean, the Golden Knights weren't going to do that. I think initially that was their plan, right?
Yeah.
Or they go to the final in the first year and like, wait a minute, we can't. Now what do we do? So, but I think they realized they had to get better. If they looked at it, they zoomed out. As great as that first year was, they needed a Mark Stone, they needed an Alex Pietrangelo, they needed a Jack Eichel. Alec Martinez, so anyway, let me edit my answer. I don't know how they do. I don't know how they fix that with Petro. I don't know if they can,
Yeah. But see, like, I love that answer because it's that is the thing, that's the answer from someone who's on the inside that I think people do need to hear. And that's not to say that they're not going to have a fantastic year or not be a cup contender. I think they absolutely will. But I feel that so many people have seen the addition of a Marner and then, the whispers of a guy like Rasmus Andersson, and they're forgetting that there is a massive, massive hole that is going to need, whether by committee or a miracle, replacing.
Yeah. And Goucher, I was going to ask you what I'm about to say, but you kind of answered at the top, but I was curious your POV on what gets this team over the hump with an addition of Marner, with a loss of Pietrangelo, and maybe it is just the goals drying up in playoffs from your POV, if that was it. Because it's been so, like Dan said at the top, I mean, we think Jack's one of the best players in the league. There's like 3 guys I would take over him if I'm starting a team right now. And we've seen a couple different versions of him. The Vegas just like team where Jack has 66 points and leads the team, and then obviously has the career last year. I'm just curious what you think maybe is the best version of Jack for this team, and then maybe what the how do we get over the hump issue is.
Yeah, I think they have to find ways to score when it gets tough in the playoffs.
Yeah,
they used to be a great, and they still are a great team that scores off the rush. You don't see a lot of that in the playoffs.
Yeah, good call.
Right. You have to grind out goals.
Because, Goucher, I remember them saying, too, that Skinner is horrible off the rush specifically. Like, that's where his worst stats were, and there was none of that generated at all against Edmonton. That's a good call.
No. So I think that's part of it. Even this past year, guys, I mean, guys that scored for a lot for them in the first round.
Yeah.
Howden, Barbashev, Hurdle. There's others, but let's just, for the sake of argument, those goals dried up for all those guys in the second round. So whether it's creating in the offensive zone, which they have, that is something they've tried to do for the last couple of years, especially coming off the Dallas series. The funny part is their power play was the best it's ever been this year.
Yeah.
So, but you can tell me they had the 3rd or 4th best power play in the league, but when it comes crunch time in the playoffs, can it come through at key moments? There's times it did and there's times it didn't. So I think you've got to find different ways to score. I do think tweaking, bringing in somebody like Marner and kind of, and somebody like Colton Sissons is a good 4th line guy, but I'm talking a high end, you could make an argument, guys. I mean, is Marner, any list you want to make, one of the top 10 players in the league, top 10 forwards? He's a hell of a player. And I know he's
no doubt.
The scrutiny in Toronto, but he's a phenomenal player. So, and then with Jack, I mean, look, he was on his way to 100 points last year and then got hurt.
Yep.
And missed some time, played through it. I think for him, can you get, and we had this with Jonathan Marchessault. then him and Stone seemed to, him and Stone and Barbashev had some great chemistry. They did so much scoring early last year. Can he develop some chemistry with Marner? And then my thought is you'd have Barbashev on that left wing, but what the hell do I know?
Yeah.
But they have guys that are phenomenal players, world-class players. And if you think teams are built by strength down the middle, and it's Eichel, Hurdle, Carlson, and now Sissons, that's pretty good. But you've still got to find ways to score.
Find those playoff goals. Yeah.
In the playoffs, because if you don't, you're done, and you're done earlier than you want to be done.
Yeah, yeah.
If we get into broadcasting, Goucher, something that I feel like you always thought might have been cool from the days when you were announcing wiffle ball games between you and your cousin back at your house. You then get to BU.
That's deep knowledge that you would know that.
Yeah.
You're at BU, you're done playing hockey, and you start calling games from the radio for the student section. How do you go from that to Wheeling, West Virginia?
Nobody else would hire me, so I
easy choice.
Yeah.
Was it? No, it's well, to your point, I was at BU. My last 2 years I did student radio. Nobody cared. Nobody listened. It wasn't very good. They weren't missing much of anything. And
must have been fun though, eh? Like that.
Yeah.
It must have been cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And this was before you guys were on the earth. There was a thing called the Old Boston Garden.
Yeah.
And,
No, we remember.
Yeah. So we had, I did a couple of bean pots there and some Hockey East playoffs and Hockey East championships there. And it was awesome. But I did enough games. I still have in my garage in Vegas. The tapes are probably ruined now because of the heat in the summer. But on cassette tape, most of the games I did at BU. And
wow, no way! That's awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah, I don't know how awesome they sounded, but it's nice to have them. And but I say, but it was good enough, I guess, right? In my business, you make a little tape, and I sent it to Wheeling. So how do you get to Wheeling? They were looking for a radio guy, and I have a good friend of mine, Bernie Corbett, who's been the voice of BU hockey on a station you could actually hear forever. And he said to me, I hear Wheeling, I graduated BU.
Yeah.
And he said, it was in May or whatever, 93. And he said, we went and had a beverage at the Elliott Lounge in Boston. And he said, what do you want to do? I said, Bernie, I know the NHL and Hockey East. I don't know anything else. I don't know the AHL, the old IHL, the East Coast League. He said, well, Wheeling, West Virginia is looking for a broadcaster. I said, where the hell's Wheeling, West? What are you talking about? Where is that? Is that on Mars? Is it?
Yeah.
So the answer is it's about an hour southwest of Pittsburgh. So it's right near the Penguins had just won their 2 cups in the 90s, early 90s, sure, those back-to-backs.
Yeah.
So it's a very rich. Rosie's chiming in.
Good job, Rosie.
Yeah, Rosie's a big Penguins fan. That's
no big Wheeling Thunderbird fan, Dan.
Also loves the trash truck.
Yeah.
So if trash trucks, UPS, Amazon, any delivery, it's like an axe murderer trying to break into the house.
I appreciate that Rosie is a traditional dog in that sense.
Yeah.
Really,
nobody is sneaking up on this house. Yeah. Right, Rosie? So anyway, that's how it was a very rich hockey environment, Wheeling back then, because the Penguins had just won 2 in a row. Rosie. And so I remember driving down for my interview. They called me. Larry Kish was the GM, who just sadly passed not too long ago. And he's one of the few people that in my life that called me Davey. He goes, Davey, if you could make your way down here, we'd love to talk to you about the position. Make your way down here didn't sound like they were flying me to Wheeling, West Virginia. Yeah. So I called, again, this is before you guys were around. I called AAA, and they used to do a thing called triptychs. There were none of these friggin' GPS phones.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I said, I've got to go from, I was still living I was in Brighton, Alston, Brighton.
Yep.
I said, I've got to go to Wheeling, West Virginia. And the woman said, where's that again, sir? I said, Wheeling, West Virginia. Yeah, Mars. And so she did the triptych, and I drove 12 hours down, had dinner with him that night, interviewed the next day, drove 12 hours back. And I don't know, fooled him enough. I got the job 2 or 3 weeks later. And it's funny, guys. But I will tell you this. When I was a kid, I was 23 or 4, whatever I was. I've told the story. They offered me, 20 grand. And I was like, God, someone's going to pay me $20,000 to do this. Now, 20 grand divided by 52 weeks, minus taxes, Social Security.
Jesus, yeah.
I'm like, that's not a lot of money.
Yeah.
It wasn't really, I was just floored someone was actually going to pay me to do it. So that's how I ended up there.
Was it a good time? Like, do you look, I mean, it's, okay,
Yeah.
there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, because you know what's funny though, DP, like the teams were good. My first year they lost in the semifinals. My second year they had the best record in the league and they got upset in the first round. But whatever, we had a 5,400 seat building in Wheeling that we averaged 5,000 fans a night.
Yeah,
so
oh my God,
big fish, small pond. It was
fantastic.
Yeah, we simulcasted a dozen games a year on the local NBC station there, and back then did all our games on FM radio, which in the mid '90s was not really a thing. Long before the Sports Hub or whatever.
For sure.
So, so I had I always joke around like if 2 years turned into 7 years,
maybe I don't like Wheeling so much.
I might be working at the mall, which there's nothing wrong with that, but but no, I had it was great. I mean, terrific people that love that team. And it, more than anything else, it gave me the opportunity to do, I think back then we played 68 games a year or something in the East Coast League. And it gave me an opportunity to do a lot of games, which is certainly as a young guy is what I needed.
Yeah. So when the Providence job opened up, was that something that you had kind of had your eyes on of maybe a cool homecoming, or did it pop up out of nowhere and you just thought, I have to go for this?
It was more out of nowhere. It's kind of a funny story. My dad was still with us at the time, and so I grew up in Pawtucket, as you mentioned, the Bucket, and no more Paw Sox, which hurts my soul.
I know, dude.
Yeah,
God, those were like the best
I can't
times
even
ever.
believe that.
Yeah.
Oh my God! But I was coming home on vacation just to see my dad for a week. The season was over in Wheeling, and I was calling this girl I used to date at BU. She was from Rhode Island, but we were just friends at the time. And I was calling her to say, hey, let's grab dinner when I'm home. And we talked for probably 15 minutes. And then she said to me, she knew somebody that worked for the Providence Bruins. And she said, by the way, I think they're looking for a radio guy. And I'm like, talk about burying the lead. Like, can we get to the important stuff? Right, Rosie? Yeah. And
okay, go on. Sorry, go on.
No. So anyway, that's how so I remember calling them and trying to play my, hey, this is Dave Goucher. I'm from Pawtucket, blah, blah, blah. And they were like, yeah, that's great. Whatever. Yeah. And they said, the guy that ended up hiring me, this guy, Randy Scott, who's a very good friend of mine to this day, he said, why don't you just call us when you're in town? Yeah. So I did. And I remember going in, as we tape this today, in Rhode Island, the feels like temperature's like 104. Yeah. And I swear that day back then, it was one of those 100-degree, like stifling hot. And I had one of my 2 sports coats, my khaki pants, and one of my 2 ties I had, and went in for the interview. And again, I'm not great at knowing how do these things go. I don't know. Like, I didn't think I said anything stupid, but I probably did. And then, I don't know, 3 weeks later, I had the job. So it was great for me, guys, just because it was twofold, right? It was A, a chance to take another step up, and B, come home. So, and C, kind of be closer to Boston, although like Providence to Boston isn't 45 miles, 50 miles, but it is a long way.
Oh, for sure.
In the broadcast world sometimes.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, that was how I ended up getting back, kind of getting back home, but also been able to take a step up at the same time.
Is the girl you went on the date with who told you about it in your life still?
Not really. No.
Okay. I thought that story was going to bookend.
Oh, yeah.
Now that's my wife, and I was going to lose my mind.
No, she was smart. She married somebody else.
Yeah.
But at least, at the very least, she gave me a heads up. It took her a while.
Great, solid. Yeah, dude, I love that. It's like dessert. She's like, by the way, your dream job's open.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of dream job, Goucher, in April 2000. B's radio job opens up, which must have literally felt like, a dream come true for you at this moment. Is it true that you auditioned in an empty room with a TV
Oh, absolutely
on?
true. Yeah. Absolutely true.
That's
insane.
Well,
I'll tell you what happened, guys. So you guys remember Bob Newmeyer?
Yeah.
God rest him. He's been gone sadly a few years, and he was doing So I did the Bruins games for 5 years, P Bruins rather.
Yep.
95 to 2000. He did the Bruins on, at the time, WBZ Radio, before the Sports Hub was even a thought.
Mm-hmm.
Same 5 years. And
God,
I don't think
WBZ, that was
Dan.
that is a blast from the past. WBZ
easy, right? 50,000 watt powerhouse, 38 states, 7 Canadian provinces, all that stuff.
Jesus.
So, but Numi was, he was, but he was also a hell of a anchor on Channel 4 in Boston, WBZ TV, right? And I don't think he was the type that he wasn't going to be a lifer at doing play-by-play. He wasn't going to be like somebody like me, and do it until they tell you can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
So, he was, he kind of wanted to do other things. And the funny part of the story is I was doing the P Bruins games, and we were going to Quebec City, to Le Colisée in Quebec City, to start a playoff series back when the Montreal Canadiens affiliate was in Quebec City. And we were going to get on an 8-hour bus trip, and I opened up the Boston Herald. You guys are too young to remember. Jim Baker used to write the sports media column for the Herald.
Yeah.
And there was an article in the paper, Newmeyer to lead Bruins post. Chuck Caton, who was the voice of the Carolina Hurricanes, is front runner to get position. And I'm like, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
Like, Rosie, I wasn't happy about it either. It's fine.
Yeah. It sucked, Rosie.
I know. She wasn't even alive.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, how can the game be over before I get in the game? You know?
Seriously.
So I don't know. I called WBZ Radio.
Just call for yourself.
I called information and said, what the hell's the number? Back then there was no Googles.
Danny called AAA and he said, hey, listen, I need to figure out how to get to the Garden. Yeah.
These are big. Rosie, lock it up. So I called there and for whatever reason got put through to the GM. And I don't know. He said, well, when can you come in here to talk about the job? And I said, I don't know. I'm getting on a bus for 8 hours to go to Quebec City. I'm going, and I could hear him flipping through his calendar. And he said, what about Friday at 2? I said, okay, sure. So was up in Quebec City for a few days. Then I went and interviewed. But then the audition came later. Bob Bealers, who still does the games on radio, color analyst. He was there before me. And once Chuck Caton was the voice of the Hartford Whalers, went to Carolina when they moved.
Yeah.
The thought was he might want to come back to New England. And then once that kind of, I guess it wasn't going to happen, they kind of expanded their search. And I was part of that. So they ended up having probably 5 guys going in and audition with Bob at WBZ Radio, calling it off. I mean, the monitor would be as big as my laptop screen in a conference room with like Walkman headsets and a stick mic. And I'm like, how is this how we're going to decide this? But I think they were just looking to see if there was any sort of chemistry on the air, as much as you could have from sitting in an
holding a stick. Yeah.
And so I don't know. I think my recollection is all those years ago, they narrowed it down from 5 to 3. And then the guy that ran BZ Radio called me, and I always think it's funny. He said to me, hey, Dave, if you're agreeable. I'm like, if I'm agreeable? You want me to walk up in 93 backwards? That's fine.
Yeah.
Would like to make an offer to be the next radio announcer for the Boston Bruins. I'm like, that would be fine. That's agreeable.
That would be, it is agreeable to me.
Yeah, not bad.
So anyway, that's how it,
Amazing.
but it was probably, I got to think, probably a 2-month process.
Yeah.
And it was,
oh my God.
Because every time the phone rings, you're thinking, this is probably, they're telling me hit the bricks, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
And then when they called and actually offered you the job, you almost couldn't believe what was coming out of the other end of the phone. So that was pretty cool.
And then what was it like working with Fred Kuzik and Bob Wilson? Like, 2 guys you listen to, like you have this job and now you're there with them. That's insane.
Yeah. Well, it was awesome. I got to know Bob fairly well. He lived in New Hampshire, because he was retired, obviously. And we got together a few times for dinner. And I remember the first time I met him, he says, Dave, how do you feel about nicknames? And I said, Mr. Wilson. He goes, call me Bob. I said, okay, Bob. I said, I'm not a big fan. He goes, me neither. And I think that was a way of him saying, don't do that. And to this day, I always say this, guys, you're friendly with the guys. You're not friends with them. Like, I'm not
Yeah, no, I hear you. Yeah.
I'm not going out for dinner on the road with Mark Stone. I mean, great guy, but like, you know what I mean? There's a separation there, right? So, but Bob was unbelievable. Sad he's been gone a long time, but Jack Edwards and I, because they had named the radio booth for Fred Cusick. The TV booth for Fred Cusick.
Yeah.
And Jack Edwards and I, we said, well, but my recollection is they did it after Fred had passed away. And Jack and I were like, we should try to get this radio booth named for Bob Wilson while he can still enjoy it, while he's still here, you know? So we were on the road somewhere, and Cam Neely was on the road trip. And Jack and I and Cam got in the same elevator. And you know how they say you have your elevator speech? You know, like you got 5 floors here. Yeah. Say what you got to say. And I don't know, we said something to Cam about basically what I just said, like, you know, Bob's a legend, and, you know, it'd be great if maybe we could dedicate it to him. And I guess he listened, because the next thing, you know, they dedicated it to Bob. So to be able to have him come in and, you know, be able to sit down. Oh, it was awesome, you know. And then the Fred Cusick part of it, when the games, the Bruins were on BZ still, and it's probably 2008, they did a Cape Cod League Game of the Week baseball.
Yeah.
And they asked me, Fred Cusick lived in Barnstable. Cape. And the previous summer, he had done the Game of the Week. And it was just like every Monday, you'd do a game in Yarmouth, do a game in Hyannis, do a game in Orleans, whatever. And he didn't want to do it the next summer. So BZ thought it was going to be a cool idea if the current radio guy for the Bruins would do it. So I said, sure. Yeah, it was fun. It was 10 games in the summer. So one game in Hyannis, my partner, John Garner, who's the director of communications for the Cape League, couldn't do it. And they said, wouldn't it be cool if we could get Fred to do it? And I'm like, absolutely.
Yeah.
So Fred and I did. It was like Hyannis played.
You guys did a Cape League game together.
We did a Cape League game together.
That is insane. Yeah. Someone needs to get that tape. That's
I know. Epic. So I've got picture. Rosie, I know. It's a big deal. So I've got a picture of Fred and I framed from, and I think somewhere I had him sign my scorecard.
Yeah.
Just because, like, you know, that was like in 2008. I think he passed the next year. I was like, the chances of this ever happening again?
Yeah.
Were pretty slim, and turned out they never did happen again. And it was almost like the game was secondary.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
Are you kidding?
I just picked his brain for 2.5 hours.
Yeah, the event.
Fred, what do you remember about Orr's goal in 70? You know, like, just stuff like that. You know, when they won the cup in 72 at Madison Square Garden, you know, like, so anyway, he was great. Fred was, but he was very, he was low key, like, on the air, he'd be yelling like a maniac. You know, he's great, like some of those goal calls, right?
Oh, yeah.
But then I swear, like 10 minutes after the game was over, people would tell me, like, if it was a road game for the sake of argument, he'd get on the bus to go to the airport or go back to the hotel, and he'd be reading his book.
Yeah, chilling.
Like, he was just like, so anyway, I guess you can't, you know, that personality, it was different, but no, they were both, and to your point, Chris, those were the two guys. Like,
yeah, sure.
They were kind of the soundtrack to my winter on radio and TV with those two guys, you know, doing the Bruins games.
So epic, man.
You love having those guys, you know, in your mind. Was there a specific, you know, before we depart the Bruins era, because it was, you know, an insane run, was there a moment that really sticks out for you that was just maybe one of the more electrifying times you had doing Bruins games?
Yeah, I mean, there was a few, right? I mean, you know, them winning it, obviously.
Yeah,
like,
sure, yeah.
Winning it in Vancouver, I mean, that's, you know, I say this to people, guys. You know, there's people that have done this 2 or 3 times longer than I have, and their teams have never won anything, you know, or they've never been close, or they haven't been to the final, or, you know. So I think just being lucky enough to do that and be there in Vancouver to call it, I think that would be, I mean, anytime you get a chance to call your team win a championship, it's got to be at the top of the list.
Yeah.
You know, the other, you know, we joked at the beginning of this, the Bergeron thing. I mean, I tell the story. So he scores that goal sometimes it gets lost in the mix. He scored the goal to tie the game.
I know, dude.
You know, like,
so ridiculous.
So,
and then do you remember, we always joke in that fucking game, Peverly almost scored with like 2 seconds left. Like, that was insane.
Yeah, bounced over a stick. Yeah, I remember that. Well, and the other thing I remember is Claude Julien said about that team, they were a Jekyll and Hyde team. That Bruins team, because that was the lockout shortened year, right?
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
So that first round of the playoffs was like in the second week of May because they didn't start until January. They played the shortened season, right? So anyway, that team was very, they were up 3-1 in that series too.
I know, dude.
So I remember Claude used to say that, and I remember saying something about, fortunate enough, Dr. Jekyll showed up just in time because they, The other thing I remember is, because I remember thinking before the overtime that it would have been just like that team to lose. They could have certainly lost.
Yep.
And about 5 minutes into overtime, remember Joffrey Lupul played for the Leafs?
Yeah.
Yep.
He had an unbelievable chance from 20 feet out that Tuukka Rask made a great stick save.
Yes.
And I was like, oh my God. The other thing I remember was, even though the Bruins got it to 4-2 in the third period, I'm going back a little bit. Matt Fratton.
Oh, had a breakaway.
Had a breakaway.
Had a breakaway. You're right. I forgot about that.
All these little, but anyway, I just remember when they were down 4-1 and my phone, my buddies were texting me because they were going to be massive changes. They were probably going to fire the coach.
Yep.
So my buddies were texting me, this sucks. Do you want to play golf tomorrow? And I was getting annoyed at reading the text.
Yeah.
So I put my phone out of reach. Then they come back and they tie the game. And I picked up, between the third period and the overtime, and the tone of those texts changed a lot. And so whatever, Bergeron scores, they win the game. So for about a year, there's still a lot of anonymity when you're on the radio, but in Boston, there's not quite as much because it's a big market and Sports Hub's a huge station. So for a year, I would have people every once in a while yell at me out of the blue, Bergeron. And I'm like, what the hell's going on here, right? So the next year they lose to Montreal in the first round. They get upset, and they lost Game 7 in Boston. Yeah. So
that was the
I never had
handshake
said
line
anything.
When Lucic threatened. That was the handshake line when Lucic threatened Dale Weiss's life.
Right. That's exactly right. Yeah, exactly right. So I had never said anything to Bergeron just because I'm like, the hell do you say?
Yeah,
But I figured after a year of hearing this come back to me, I said, I don't know. So I said to him, hey, look, Bergie, I think I kind of said, I don't know how to say this to you, but thanks for scoring that overtime goal in Game 7 against the Leafs. I said, for the last year, I basically, a couple times a month, whatever, had people yelling your name at me. You know what he said to me? Yeah, me too.
God.
He goes, if you think you hear it, I'm the actual guy that scored.
Oh my God.
It is such a good point. I'm sure people come up to him all the time and they're just doing the
yelling. Yep. He goes, yeah, me too. I said, well, okay.
Good deal.
I'm glad to share that with you.
God, that is awesome.
But no, I think, guys, that, look, they were, it's funny when I think about it now, the first 6-7 years I was doing the games, they weren't very good. They had a good team. Mike Sullivan's 03-04, they were really good. They got upset by Montreal in the first round. Brought in Dave Lewis for a year. That wasn't good. But once they brought in Claude, right? That
it shifted. Yep.
They had a decade there of, I always thought that team should have won more, but you know what?
Agreed.
It's not that easy. Chicago had that run. The Kings won 2.
Oh, for sure.
It's not that easy to, to just to do that, and. And then they got a little bit older and missed the play, but you kind of know the whole rest of the story.
Yeah.
But to be there when they kind of went from not being real relevant to being very relevant was great to see, because those other teams, the Patriots won their first 3, right? The Red Sox finally broke through and won a couple then. The Celtics won it in 08, By the time the Bruins won it in 11, they were the team that hadn't won it in 39 years. So
like they were the finisher. That's true.
Yeah. So it was good to be able to see them break through and finally, win one of their own.
Yeah. And Goucher, real quick, just because I think you mentioned this recently. You're staying in Vegas, gonna do the thing. I know the Bruins were calling a little bit, but I just wanted to hear before we get to a game with you, what's the biggest difference between when you made that big switch? Because obviously that was a huge decision for you, leaving Boston. but it was like this new frontier and go to television. So like, what was the impetus of that decision, and what's the biggest difference doing TV than radio?
Yeah, good question, Chris. I mean, I just felt like I was kind of ready to, like you get that little, like, what's next, right? What's the next challenge? And
absolutely.
If you do all the math, I mean, I was 7 years in the minor leagues and 17 doing the Bruins rest, 24 years of radio. And, Bob Wilson did it his whole career, and I think he was the best there ever was doing radio. Like, he's phenomenal. But I felt like I had done some TV. I did a package of games for NBCSN, used to do a college hockey package. I guess this was in 2013 and 14, I guess. So I did a package of games for them. BC, Maine, UMass, UNH, whatever, BU. And after I did that first game on TV, I did the games with Ken Hodge Jr., former Bruin, Ken Hodge's son. After I did that first game on TV, this is like in 2013, I thought, this is something I'd like to try to do sometime. Okay. That's kind of the next challenge for me. Now, here's the problem. Nobody else was thinking that. So they weren't kicking the doors now. Hey, Dad, right. I was the only one. So, but by the time Vegas got a team, and I used to have to weigh guys, radio in Boston, which is, if you were going to list the best radio jobs in the NHL, the Bruins would be in the top 5 easily. Yep. Radio in Boston or TV in city XYZ, it's not comparable sometimes,
Yeah.
But when Vegas got a team, that was a little different. Now you're talking Vegas, first ever major league team, and being the first ones, that so Shane Knighty and I, that was different. You weren't following anybody. It's easy to, we said earlier, like, it's turned into all it's turned into. None of us ever thought that would happen, especially so quick. But that was kind of that was my thought process. Was professionally, it made all the sense in the world. Personally, it was a challenge just because 95% of my family and friends are still in Rhode Island, Massachusetts. But I'll tell you this: they all come to Vegas. Yeah, they all come out.
Yeah.
So and I get, I'm very blessed. Like, I get to come back, to the Rhode Island coast in the summer, and so in a way, I kind of get the best of both worlds. So that was some of the thought process going into it.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's amazing.
Yeah, that's so awesome.
So much.
Okay, Dave, we're going to play 2 super fast games with you, and then we'll get you out of here.
Okay.
The first one we play with everybody. It's called Pass, Shoot, Score. So we give you 3 things in a category, and you have to rank them: pass, shoot, score. Pass being your least favorite because, passing puck is cool, but whatever. Shooting is your next favorite because puck's on net. Scoring, of course, is your favorite. So for you, Dave, we are doing a pass, shoot, score, a music category, a guitar category, in fact, because you play guitar and sing in a band called Double Minor, which is just literally chef's kiss. Fucking perfect. Like, I cannot believe it. So we can get into that in a second, but here's your pass, shoot, score, okay? Your category is guitars. Pass, shoot, score, your Martin acoustic, your Paul Reed Smith electric, or your first Fender electric that you took lessons on in 2005?
I would pass on my first Fender. I would score on I would shoot with my Martin. Ooh. And I would score with the PRS.
You're going electric. Okay.
I play at every show.
Yep.
Every show.
Wow. I love it.
But I will tell you this.
But at home in the music room, are you on the Martin or what?
I'm on the Martin.
Yeah, okay. There we go.
And I'll tell you why. Because I love it, but it's a little harder on your fingers, if that makes sense.
Sure. Yeah, the action,
of
dude.
course.
The action.
Sure. The action's heavy there, yeah.
My little, I don't know if it's a tradition or just a superstition. Like, we have a gig on Saturday night or whatever, I'll run through all our songs that afternoon on my Martin. Because I just think it makes it easier for the show.
For sure. Toughen you up.
But I think it does. So, there you go.
Hey, tell everyone which songs are you soloing on? Which songs are you singing on? You lead singer on?
Oh, God. Blister in the Sun. Fitting.
I love that song. Yep.
Psycho Killer.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
I sing kind of co-lead on You May Be Right, Billy Joel.
Yeah.
Roadhouse Blues by The Doors. I do a little.
That's the one you riff.
I riff the Golden Knights winning the cup. I've had to change it just because, well, 2 things. I riff it because I don't think anyone knows what the hell Jim Morrison says.
Agree. Yeah. Say whatever you want.
I have no idea what he's saying.
Yeah.
And I've tried to find the lyrics, and I can't remember whatever the words he's making up.
Yeah.
So I said to the guy, screw that. I'll just do my own version of it.
So you literally say, like, the Knights have won the cup, like, during the show.
Right after they won it. So I would, if we had shows, maybe in the first year, I would, in that middle section of the song, I would start off by saying we get a real pressure cooker going here, which is from Paradise by the Dashboard Light.
Yeah.
Just to see if anyone's paying attention.
Yeah.
And then I would riff Mark Stone's 3 goals, the hat trick in Game 5. That's what I would do.
That's so sick.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I sing lead on that. What else do I sing lead on? There's more. We just added another Door song, Break On Through.
Oh, wow. Great.
Here we go.
Should I Stay or Should I Go by The Clash? So
Great song. Wow.
yeah.
Holy shit.
There's probably, I sing guys on pretty much every, some.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But lead, I would say about 8, I guess, for 2 reasons. One is, I don't think I'm good enough to be the lead singer. 2 is, I can't blow my voice out.
I was going to say, dude.
The
That
Golden
was
Knights
gonna
are
be
going
my
to want to hear,
follow-up
hey, I can't do the game tomorrow because I blew my voice out at Frankie's bar singing.
I was singing Roxanne too loud.
Singing Psycho Killer.
Yeah, in Henderson.
So anyway, yeah, about, I would say
Amazing.
6 to 8.
So awesome,
That's
man.
perfect.
Just started
Perfect.
Down Under by Men at Work.
Oh,
That's a tough
great
one because that's up there.
Oh, yeah.
Colin Hayes up there. What else? But yeah, there's more, but those are the ones that come.
So cool. You have
I
that
love
outlet, dude. That's so awesome.
All
It's
right.
a great release.
Yeah.
Our last game for you, Goucher, is we call it Career Hattie. So your career hat trick. So when we do this with the players, we ask them to pick their 3 favorite goals they've scored in their career.
Any level, and college, junior, whatever.
I want to give you an option. I want to hear, and you can think about it for a second before you answer, but I want to hear either your 3 favorite goals that you've called or your 3 favorite games.
Oh, cool, Dan.
You get to pick.
Ooh, I'll go 3 favorite games. How's that sound?
Great. Perfect.
Is this still the pass, shoot, score situation?
No. This is
just your 3
This is going to
favorite,
be your career hat trick of 3
a lot of
favorite
games for me to keep track of here.
Yeah, too many.
I would say the 3 games that come to mind. Number 1 would be the Bruins winning the Stanley Cup.
Oh,
Number
game
2
7,
would
yeah.
be. It's hard to limit it to 3. I would say number 2 would be Game 7, Bruins Tampa 2011, the 1-0.
Oh, the perfect game. It was the perfect hockey game.
And I would say probably Game 3, just because it was the first year of the Golden Knights. They beat the Kings in double overtime. I still think it's their longest game they've ever played. Eric Hall scored in double overtime. So I would think those are. I mean, there's a lot more than that. I was blessed, especially the Bruins days, to call a lot of big playoff games. But I would say those 3 would be. The Bergeron game was a hell of an ending, but it looked like the game was going to be total crap until it worked out.
Yeah,
so
it's a good point.
In terms of a whole game, those three would be at the top of the list.
Those are fantastic.
Perfect.
I love it. This has also been fantastic. Dave Goucher, thank you so much for popping on.
Boys.
Before we let you go, is there anything you want to shout out, anything you want to plug? What's going on in your life?
No, Double Miner's got a bunch of gigs coming up in Vegas in September.
There we go.
Dude, I want to come to one for real. Yeah, that would
I
be
agree.
sick.
Yeah.
You guys got to come.
We'll
get you.
100%.
If we had a mailing list, I would put you on the mailing list.
Hey, well, we're a quick flight away. We're
there a lot. Yeah.
Listen, I got to keep my United status up, so that's an easy flight.
Yeah,
so we'll pop.
As you know,
we'll come to a show.
45 minutes. We promote them on the gram. You know the gram. We promote them
perfect.
on there.
Perfect.
What's the band's IG?
Double Miner Band Vegas, but mine. I put mine just David. I think it's David C. Goucher or David Goucher, David.Goucher or something like on the Instagrams. But yeah, I promote them. We should do a better job of promoting them, so I'm promoting them right now.
Yeah, hey,
So-
we're going to pump it. I love it.
Yeah,
There's
perfect.
5 shows in September. I miss a lot of them because of my job.
Hockey. Yeah.
Not a lot, but a few. And again, the team's not going to want to hear I can't go to St. Louis because.
Yeah.
But anyway, no, it's been great, guys. Thanks for having me. Rosie's always appreciate
Yes,
joining
thank
as
you,
well.
Rosie.
Yes,
bet.
Rosie is the real guest here. If we're being
She's the real star.
Yeah. Massive, gargantuan, ginormous thank you to Goucher. What an absolute pleasure. We say this a lot, but sometimes I'm like, oh, I could have gone for 5 hours. You know, the stories he has, dude.
Agree.
Just the journey. I love hearing that side of the hockey world. Genuinely. I think it's so, I mean, I love interviewing the boys, obviously, but
I know.
that is just such a cool path that he's had, the things he's seen, the people he's met. It's special.
It's so special, and I just love getting to do hockey talk like that and then getting the tidbits.
Yeah.
Because you're getting the normal pod with an extra voice, but then you get tidbits of cool info like that. It's the
So
best.
cool, man. Great dude. I got to go. Us and him on the deck at the Mist one of these summer days. We got to make that happen.
We got to make that happen.
I mean, dude,
Absolutely.
That's a recipe for an all-time night.
Really is. Let's get a quick ad break, and then we'll come back. Taking a quick break to talk about the best sports book in the game, and you know that is BetMGM. We've been rocking with them forever, and you need to be rocking with them too, because BetMGM is hooking you up in ways that no one else is. Sure, it's not hockey season, but we've got tons of stuff going on. We've got European football, we've got baseball, and in the baseball game, we got Big Fly Friday going on right now. So on Friday, you make a bet that someone's going to hit a home run, and if your guy hits the longest home run of the day, you get your share of $50K in bonus bets. And that's not where they stop with bonus bets. If you sign up for BetMGM right now using promo code NETTERS, that's NETTERS, you can bet up to $1,500 on anything you want. And if you lose it, guess what? Boom, it's right back in your account. BetMGM is giving you that $1,500 right back. Come on. That deal is too good to pass up. So get signed up for BetMGM today because you are missing out if not. Ride with your boys. Let's get on the train together. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369 in New York. Call 1-800-327-5050 in Massachusetts. 21 plus only. Please gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP in Arizona. 1-800-BETS-OFF in Iowa. 1-800-981-0023 in Puerto Rico. First bet offer for new customers only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. See BetMGM.com for terms. U.S. promotional offers not available in New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. We are back, and I'll tell you what, my cock is off my body. I tweeted out.
Compass pointing north.
Compass not pointing at all.
Compass gone.
I tweeted out on Monday. Said I'm going to see Weapons later, and I'm prepared to have my cock blown off. And so many people hit me up, and they were like this, oh, dude, prepare that cock. Get that cock ready to be blasted off your body.
Score it.
To smithereens.
You can score it so it's an easier
When
tear.
you're chopping down a tree, you do the notch on the other side.
Score it.
So you know which way it's going to fall.
Yeah.
I didn't even need to do that. It blew up like a stick of dynamite.
Yeah. Hey, sorry. Spoilers.
Oh.
We are about to talk about Weapons. Spoiler alert. If you haven't seen it yet, skip to the game at the end of this episode. Come back and listen later.
We're talking Weapons. If you want to see it and you haven't seen it, skip. There's your spoiler
Done.
alert. I freaking loved this movie. I thought it was fantastic. I was not prepared for how funny it was going to be.
Oh my God, dude. Our boy Tom texted me and he was like, he told me that. He goes, it's not a spoiler, but it's funnier than the trailer would make you think. And because the trailer looked horrific.
You thought the trailer looked horrific?
In a scary way. Like,
yeah. Yeah, it did. The trailer, I actually played the trailer for Alice when we were in New York, and I was like, let's go see a movie. What did we go see? We saw Naked Gun.
Yeah.
Incredible. I played this Weapons trailer for her, and she was like,
No.
I don't think I have that in me. And I was like, yeah, it looks spooky as shit. Turned out it was an absolute riot.
A comedy. It's a horror comedy.
It is a horror comedy, but the horror is Spook City.
Yes.
And then the comedy's lots of laughs. Lots of laughs, dude. Unbelievable. I fucking died a few times.
Me too. The Barbarian, for those of you that saw Barbarian, is also kind of funny.
Barbarian's definitely also kind of fun. Barbarian is freaky deaky, though.
Well, Barbarian is bonkers by the end.
Yeah.
It's like completely, I was talking to Armand. It's like, I want to say this too. I'm not a huge horror movie guy normally.
Yeah.
I think I've always said that, but I've lately in life, I think I actually do like them more than I think. The good plot ones.
Yeah.
Because I'm just not a huge body horror guy. I don't mind the occasional rip this person to shreds, but when the whole movie's about that, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And I think there are a lot of horror movies with bad plots, unfortunately. But the ones with good plots, I'm like, I'm actually okay with this. I get scared. That's why I didn't like them. But now I'm okay getting scared.
If you get spooked?
Yeah, if the plot is good, though. I'm like, okay.
Are you in the theater, you're uncomfortable? You're like covering your eyes.
I'm literally like, oh, fuck.
Palms sweating.
Fuck.
And then do you get nightmares?
Yeah. And I also go like this. I look at the top corner of the movie screen.
You bitch. Do you really?
Yeah, I just go like this, and then the whole theater goes, ah! And then I look down, and I go, oh! And then...
Wait, like a fake? Like you're trying to fit in?
No, it's still scaring me. I just didn't... At least I'm now ready.
What if it's a jump scare and you missed it?
I miss them on purpose, but it's still... What I'm seeing is scary.
Even if it's like a quick flash, like you didn't even see it?
I guess I've missed a few really quick ones.
That is... have you ever rewatched a horror movie in your life?
Wow, great question. Probably.
I don't know.
What would you call a horror movie? Like not Get Out?
Yeah, I wouldn't call Get Out horror.
Yeah.
I'd call that a psychological thriller.
Zodiac?
Psychological thriller.
Yeah, so maybe no.
Yeah, like have you ever rewatched The Conjuring?
Maybe.
Rewatched...
I think I saw The Ring more than once.
Sinister.
Because everyone was doing that.
Yeah, The Ring was
I think
crazy.
I saw The Babadook twice.
Will you rewatch this?
I would rewatch this, yeah.
I think I might as well.
I guess, but yeah, maybe. But I loved it. I'm not saying I didn't like it.
Yeah, this was... Let's get into it. What were your favorite parts?
Okay, so yeah, we're going to...
Yep, hey,
I got
Hey, buddy, take the wheel. Drive me through this
So
movie.
for people that have seen what we do with movies, we kind of do some awards. And Baker, I want you in on this because you've also seen.
Yeah, I was going to say, we got producer Brian again, and he has seen the movie. So we're all getting in on
what we
this.
like to do is MVP of the movie, the Hart Trophy. LVP of the movie, Healthy Scratch.
We're giving this the hockey award treatment. I love it.
Best part, Chills moment. Worst part, Sent to the Mindsies moment. And then I've added, we keep our sonk, Keith Yandel, biggest laugh. Because this actually was funny. And then I'm adding biggest scare, which I don't know what we should call that award yet.
Overtime breakaway.
Overtime breakaway, biggest scare. Okay,
I don't know why. I'm thinking like if
crazy.
it's the other team.
Good, and I was actually thinking like
you're
a
scared.
player, so I'm glad you did that. I was about to sewer somebody. Like
what?
Someone ugly.
Someone scary.
Yeah. Okay, LVP.
Of the movie.
Yeah, or do you want to start with MVP?
No, I like LVP.
LVP of the movie, the Healthy Scratch. Anyone come to mind, Baker?
Oh yeah, I've got an absolute lock.
Okay.
Do you guys want me to go?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me get the character's name.
Actually, fuck, I have so much to say. Oh, wait, actually, we can't start with LVP.
We can't?
No.
Okay, all right.
I want to start actually with MVP.
Okay, MVP of the film for me is...
And it can be like fair character because you just thought he was cool.
Yeah.
It can be like, I thought he did the most in the movie.
I'm going to go, my Hart Trophy winner, I'm going Alex Lilly. This fucking kid single-handedly keeping 17 students alive, feeding them Campbell's chicken noodle, keeping his parents alive, doing whatever he can to keep his parents alive and save them. So some would say he could have put a stop to that.
Okay, that's where I was
he's
headed.
a child.
And I really did appreciate the fork scene when she's like, I'll kill them if you tell anybody.
Yeah.
If I'm that kid, I go, okay, I won't tell anybody. Like, I actually thought that was a completely fair reaction.
Yeah, I had people being like, "Oh, why not just go tell the police like right away?" But as a kid, like you're
terrified.
This lady's a witch.
Yeah,
you know?
She's a literal witch.
You think
we
like
don't know what to do.
If you tell someone, she'll know somehow.
Correct.
So
Hundo P.
Yep. All right, who do you like? MVP.
I was honestly going to say Alex too, because just when they were splitting it up between like chapters and like characters, right when it showed like Alex's chapter, I was like, here we fucking go.
Same dude.
Funny,
I got fired up.
Funny because I was like, when it cut to him, I was like, this motherfucker about to be the most problematic bitch in this movie. Fucking
he's just a good. First of all, he's getting bullied in school, and he comes home and he's still a homie with his dad. Like he's just like a good kid. He loves his family. Loves his family. Dude, you know what I laughed out loud at in the theater? When he's going through it. When he is souping people. It then cuts to him in class, and he's just still doing his schoolwork. Like, he's staying dialed. He's not raising any alarm bells. The kid is fucking so committed to keeping his mom and dad alive.
Keep the grades up, dude.
Yeah, dude, he's keeping the grades up. It's unbelievable. Like, he's making sure no one is looking at him. It's unbelievable, bro. He is resolute.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Okay, dude, my MVP, and I flagged this early, and he doesn't come back, so I was like, oh, well, maybe I got to rethink. But my MVP is, his name is Ed, and he is the chief of police. Dude, I thought Ed was
Can you believe this?
so good, dude. When Brolin sat down and was losing his shit, and Ed gives him his speech back, and he was like, listen, we are pursuing everything. God forbid it was my child. I'd be doing the same thing. His answer to Brolin was so perfect from a chief of police in a horrific town situation.
Yeah.
Then his behavior with Paul, when Paul has punched the kid, when he's like, listen to me, dude. We are going to bury this for a month. And then once Paul's a motherfucker and Ed glares out through the window, I was like, Ed is the man, dude. And granted, I wrote this like a third of the way into the movie because that's when we were totally seeing that.
Okay.
But I was like, Ed is the best, dude. I've never seen a character handle every situation, which were all bad, perfectly than Ed. In a movie where people were handling shit wrong, Ed was dialed, dude. I love him.
All right, are we moving on to LVP?
Yes, because my LVP, unfortunately, might also be Ed.
Okay, I was about to jump in and say, you are an idiot, because the LVP of this movie, dude, the so clear, obvious, what the fuck is the LVP called? It's not the Healthy Scratch. Healthy Scratch Captain Ed, dude. He's the worst captain in the world.
Oh, my God, bro.
We talked about it. Again, I loved this movie, but brother,
dude,
we talk about this. He sits there. He has the audacity to tell Josh Brolin that shit. And then also, it's like the fucking cop, Alden Ehrenreich, Paul. He's like, dude, leave the fucking investigating to the investigators. Yeah. Captain Ed's the head of that. Captain Ed is heading that shit up, dude. And let me tell you what, bro. This shit goes down. Once we have seen what happens in this movie, I was talking about this. Juliet, is that her name? Justine. Julia Garner's character. She's getting fucking witch hunted, literally, by this town. Why aren't people looking at fucking Alex Lilly, dude? Like,
dude,
Alex Lilly and his family, like, they are suspects numero uno, dude. And what we find out is that the mom's just gone.
Yeah, save it for the worst part.
Like Judith comes through, or not Judith, Jesus Christ.
Justine.
No. The crazy, Gladys. Gladys comes through, and I immediately, Brian, was like, once this happens, I'm like, how the fuck, like, this shit's going on. Are you not questioning Alex Lilly's parents? And then we see it. Gladys is like, the husband had a stroke, so I'm here. And I'm like, where's the mom, dude? And the fact that Captain Ed isn't like, oh, the mom's just gone. The mom's gone all of a sudden. And we're just going to go, nope, this family's all good. Everything's fine here. And then like a day later, all of the windows of the house are covered up with newspaper. And the cops are like this. They're fine, dude. Don't look at them. Captain Ed is fired. You're the worst. You're terrible.
I'm with you there because I don't know if we want to talk about plot holes, but like that's the biggest one where like, bro, the only person you'd be investigating is Alex Lilly and his family.
Dude, okay, hold on.
And Baker. Let's talk about the fact that there are 17 or 18 kids, and this is a small town.
Bro.
So like everyone knows where Alex Lilly lives. People would be like, what? There are houses next to him.
We got to get into that, but that's my favorite part of this conversation. Give me your LVPs first, if you have any.
I would probably just go on the police station.
Yeah.
It's just like
the whatever the fucking their town is called, PD.
I also had I thought Paul sucked.
Yeah, he sucks.
Not the performance or anything, but Paul did so much bad stuff. Like
he only did bad stuff. He's supposed to be going to AA meetings.
He gets fucking cheats on his like fiance, his
wife.
Like,
I think
ovulate. No, but like they're trying to get pregnant.
Yeah.
Fucking stabs himself. Like
he's an adultering. He's an adulterer. He is fucking on the sauce when he shouldn't be. He's potentially has AIDS. Like, this guy stinks.
Dude, and he's like punching.
Yeah, and he's turning off his fucking body cam and his car. Like, this guy's a shitty ass cop.
Lying to everybody. Dude, Paul did so poorly. I kept being like, well, Paul will come around in one of these later ones. So Paul was big LVP for me. What'd you think about that?
Well, I was going to say, like, when he gets murked at the end, like, I didn't give a shit because I'm like, you're the worst guy ever. But then Justine's like standing over his like corpse, like kind of like sad. And I'm like, why do you give a shit? Yeah. Like, this dude's a scumbag. He just tried to kill you.
Yeah, this guy stinks.
And then this one's harsh, but Alex's mom, I wrote down LVP.
Oh, I don't think that's harsh at all. I love this take,
dude, because she goes. They're like, the husband is like, why are we gonna fucking have Gladys here? And she's like, well, you know, my mom did this for her. So I'm already like, wait, was Gladys up in this bitch like witching your mom this whole time?
Yeah.
And you invited her into this house, dude.
And
You've done this.
Let me tell you this, too. Gladys isn't fooling anyone.
Yeah, dude,
Take one look at Gladys, and I'm like this. You're suspect.
That's the
You
thing
are
with
suspect.
when they met with her and the dad just like glazed out because he had a stroke. I'm like, this lady's a witch.
Clearly, bro. Like, put a pointy hat and give her a broom. Yeah. This lady is clearly a witch.
She flew in here.
Yeah. Yeah. She just came in on her Nimbus 2001, bro.
So,
like,
yeah.
That lady is clearly up to no good.
LVP's Paul, the mom, Ed. Okay, best part of the movie. Like, it can be plot point or just shot or whatever. Like, this is the chills moment in our hockey stuff.
Yeah.
Best part of the movie.
Well, what's in a movie like this, the best could mean a lot of
But
things.
don't forget, we have biggest scare, so don't use it for that. I'll go first while you guys think.
Yeah, go first.
I had two. One, when James, the drug addict, continued robbing the house after he saw the comatose parents. Like, when he sees them and he's like, oh, fuck, sorry.
Yeah.
And then he walks up and he goes, you good?
Yeah. You good.
And then,
says you
and then they don't react.
Yeah.
And he goes like this, silverware. Just like keeps bro, do you know how fast I'd be out of that house? And he keeps going. Keeps robbing the house. That fucking killed me. And then two, the kid at the end, the kids chasing Gladys, just how long it was and how funny, like going through neighbors' houses and then crashing through walls and windows and like glass doors. That was just such a cool scene. Like, I feel like that scene will get talked about so much. Where I was like, that was fucking awesome.
No doubt.
Including ripping her to shreds, which is amazing.
Yeah,
but especially that kid chase scene was fucking hilarious.
When the druggy kid is like weaponized and he's chasing after Josh Brolin in the house, and Josh Brolin just keeps like tossing him, and then it goes like silent,
Brian.
and then he gets back up screaming, and he tosses him again.
The two pigeon tosses are so funny. He like throws them over the kitchen island on one.
Yeah.
And it is funny because you're like, that kid probably weighs 120 pounds soaking wet, and Josh Brolin's a brick shithouse. Yeah. So I'm like, that's what would happen.
So funny, dude.
So oh my God. Shit. I think so. Best moment. I loved, piggybacking off of yours, the second Alex snaps that twig and Gladys goes, oh no.
Yeah.
And then the chase goes on. Yeah. But then, and there is no way the director of this film did not have this in mind, Gladys going full Ferris Bueller through that town.
Yeah.
And the fact that it was broad daylight made it funnier. Like, that was that had to have been a Ferris Bueller reference.
Dude.
It was fucking hysterical.
You said Krager, right?
Yeah, Krager. Yeah.
Krager said there's a lot of references where it's like, so I bet that was one. Or maybe not, but like, you know, it looks like it so much. Edge was telling us about the Vietnam girl, is how he got the run. And there's so many things of like the POV staircase shot is like Friday the 13th, I think, or one of those like OG. He pulls a lot from like really cool OG horror stuff that I thought was awesome. I think you were over there, Baker. We were talking about when Donna follows her into the liquor store and the camera's like whipping every time they turn down a new aisle.
And we can see Donna, and Donna looks crazy.
Yeah, and you think she's like a mad parent or whatever.
Yeah.
Those, I would also put in best part, just like some of the shots were really cool in this to build it up.
Definitely. It was a well-shot movie.
Okay, let's go to worst part, plot holes. Because and by the way, all three of us love this movie.
Yes,
so all of this shit talk segment is about to be is in good fun.
Funny.
Dude, okay, so Baker, here's my first one, which is minor compared to the bigger one we're going to get to. My first minor one is I loved how Brolin is mapping. I actually really like that scene when he's like doing the cameras and he's mapping the houses and he draws lines and he's like, I don't know. And he says this big circle and he goes to Justine and he goes, is anything in here, you know, important? And she's like, Alex's house, like the literal only surviving
She goes, oh my God. Alex Lilly lives right here. Now, to be fair, she points kind of towards the edge of the circle.
Okay, that actually makes me feel better.
But I'm still like
Brolin's so dialed with everything. And if I'm him drawing those lines and I'm like, oh, the living kid's house is here. That's my first stop, dude. I love how he's like, I don't actually know what is over here. That rattled me.
That was bonkers. I'm going off of what we were talking about before. The way the Lilly family got off scot-free is crazy town to me. Once we got Alex's POV, I'm with you. I was like, fuck yeah, here we go. Yeah. But then as things started developing, I was like, wait a minute. Are his parents full on fucking Veggie Tuesday weekend at Bernie's before the cops come and talk to them. And I thought for a minute maybe she was going to snap them out of it and have them.
Yeah.
And then she was just like, nope, he is a full on vegetable and has fork holes in his fucking mug.
Yeah, dude.
What kind of stroke is that? Guy looks like a Cabbage Patch doll with freckles all over his face, and the mom's just gone. And the cops go like this: everything checks out at the Lily House. That was crazy to me. I was like, all right, how are they going to do this? Then she makes all the kids run out of the basement.
Was that night? At least she made the kids run out at night. And
no, it was the middle of the day. I feel like
it was night, maybe.
And you're where could they have gone?
Where'd they go?
No one on earth saw 17 kids like running around like psychopaths. That part was nuts to me. Also, to dial back to best parts, one thing that we all forgot, when the fucking kid breaks in, the drug addict breaks in the house, when he goes into the basement and sees all the kids, that was a holy shit moment.
Yeah, that was
someone in my theater goes, no fucking way.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah,
dude, Sandra actually, the first time we saw that Alex's house, Sandra was like, I guarantee the kids are in that basement.
Dude, I thought that too.
Yeah.
When you see it's all boarded up with newspapers, I'm like, oh, they're in there. Like,
yeah,
right.
That's another thing of what I'm saying. The second that house gets newspapered up on the windows, how the fuck, Captain Ed? How is no one like, we've got to look into this? It's the one kid who didn't disappear, and his house all of a sudden turns into Pennywise's crib. Dude, go in there.
What did you think?
This is still the worst part.
Yeah.
In the same vein, Alex Lilly is now like walking to school every day alone and getting 25 cans of soup a day.
Dude, Baker,
like.
And Brian,
no one at the grocery store is like,
bro,
Alex.
what are you doing, pal? I said to Chris, this kid's going full on Kevin McAllister, doing grocery shopping by himself, buying Campbell. He's cleaning the grocery store out of Campbell's products, and no one is like this. Something weird is going on here. We should check into this kid.
I wrote that down too, Bigger. I go, the town has failed Alex Lilly because he walks in and literally buys 19 cans of soup every day. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, somebody has to see that or works there or something. And they're like, Alex is being weird as fuck. And I don't know what's going on, but like, we have to go there. And then to your guys' point, I'll even buy the, like, I hid the kids and I hid the parents and we cleaned up. Like, it's already insane that the principal and the cops and everyone in town knows that Alex has two completely good and loving parents. And all of a sudden one has a stroke and one's gone and there's a freak clear witch here.
Yeah.
But
woman, brother, when Gladys walks into Benedict Wong's, Marcus's office.
Yeah.
Dude, you have to be like this. So let me get this straight.
Call the cops right away.
Yeah. Get them on speed dial, brother. This guy sits in that meeting and goes, so I asked for a meeting with the one surviving child's legal guardian and his parents don't show up, but this witch walks into my office. Dude, what are we talking about?
I loved that line. He goes, we haven't met before, right?
Like, I think you would remember, sir. Like, do you think you're going to forget that face?
But yeah, so even ignoring the cops, like, that insanity that's described, the next day, like, you have Alex alone, never gets picked up, no Gladys, no nothing. And the next day, the cops literally never go back to the house ever. They went that first day and they were like, we're good. They check out. Like, they got they're up Justine's ass. And they never checked on, like, even the speech that Marcus gives where he's like, we need to think about Alex. Like, let's all leave him alone. I'm like, no, let's take care of Alex.
Can we talk about, too, the plot hole? We haven't even mentioned this. You got parents like Josh Brolin, who's out here going full Hugh Jackman in Prisoners, just wanting answers. He never thought to go talk to Alex Lilly's parents?
Yeah, dude.
You're telling me that Josh Brolin, with what he's up to, didn't go, well, I'm obviously going to go talk to the kid who's alive. Still, like, what?
What? Alex dude was going through it too. Like
that's why he's MVP.
Don't follow me, dude.
That's my heart, dude. That's my heart.
Don't come in here. Don't come in.
Don't follow me. This kid is made of tungsten steel,
he's tough.
Brother.
Gladys she gave it to him. Dude, what? I'm actually just thinking this right now. How did the mythology work in your guys' mind? Like, if she Because I thought the first time we see her do it is with Marcus. That was a gnarly scene, by the way, when he headbutts his husband to death.
Oh, my God.
Gross sound effects right there.
Brutal.
But she gets his
ribbon.
Oh, his ribbon.
She takes Marcus's ribbon. There's a scene when she's in his office.
I saw that.
She looks over and there's a bunch of ribbons. And when she's doing her
she
thing,
wraps his ribbon to the stick and then the husband's hair.
Yes, she walks over and snips his hair.
So it's like kill ribbon, kill hair.
You need a possession of the person who you want to activate,
control,
and the hair of the person you want to kill.
So then she does Justine's hair, so he's trying to kill her.
Yes.
And then later Alex
gets a snippet of her hair.
Oh, and then activates all the kids.
Because all the kids are activated already with that tree.
Boom.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, I buy that. Okay. Okay, let's do biggest laugh.
Biggest laugh.
Sonk moment.
Easy for me. I truly almost had to leave the theater. I was laughing so hard. And keep in mind, I had a jumper. I had a Mexican jumping bean sitting next to me. This guy, every single jump scare. And we were in those recliners, like feet up. This guy was jumping, like kicking his legs. He was like firing elbows back. And I was like, relax, pal. And I was locked. Didn't move a muscle. And then when Josh Brolin is sleeping in his son's bed, in Matthew's bed, and he has it. Yeah, you too.
This is mine.
Me too, dude. Me too.
When it's everyone.
All of Fame laughed.
When Josh Brolin has that nightmare, sees the clown face, and he wakes up and he's like, ah, and then he's like, scooches back into the corner of the bed, and it cuts to a wide shot, and he just goes, "What the fuck?"
Dude, that was the funniest thing because
Brian, I was so unprepared for that, and I let out like a squeal laugh and then just couldn't stop.
Because in scary movies they never do that.
Ever,
or like
dude.
if I have a nightmare and I see like a crazy clown looking lady, like I'll wake up and be like, what the fuck was that? Like
I get mad at my brain.
Yeah, I'd be like, what the fuck's going on? But in scary movies they never show. They just show them being like flustered or whatever. I thought that was so funny, and it was like the first kind of like hint of like humor that we had.
Dude, I died. I was like, that was fucking iconic. There were more though.
James, I had a bunch with James.
Yeah, James was a bucket. That everything that kid said and did was real.
I'm trying to remember one. I thought I wrote down one, but there's one where he's
of his excuses. The first time like Paul detains him, he's like, "I worked there. Did I work?"
Dude, he's on the phone with like a family member.
Yeah.
He's like, "I got the job. I need money to get clothes, and then I can pay mom back."
Dude, did
like,
either of you think that James was Alex's brother the first time he broke into the house? Because he's on the phone and he's talking to like a family member, and then he just walks up to that house.
I didn't think. I thought he saw the newspapers and was like, "This house is abandoned."
Yeah. I was like, "Oh shit!" Like he's the brother maybe. And then once he saw them, I was like, "Sorry." I was like, "Wait, he doesn't live here."
Yeah, and there was one where he goes, he's calling in the kids, and he's like, "I know where they are." And he's like, "How do I get the cash though?" He's like, "I just do need to,
because I don't want to come in. I don't trust police stations. I'm phobic." He was such a bucket.
He was good.
I also, fuck, man. There was one part that just killed me. I died laughing too when he stabbed Paul in the face. What the fuck out of him?
Dude, okay, actually, here's the question.
Do you have AIDS?
Yeah, this is kind
He's
of
like,
plot
shit,
holing.
man. Or then he was like, what about hepatitis? And he goes, shit, man, not that I know of.
Yeah. This is kind of plot holy because I thought it was going to matter more.
Yeah.
When she first has the clown dream, I was like, okay, like we're into something here. And I was like, and then Brolin starts to have the clown dream. I was like, yep, like everyone involved is going to have clown dreams. She's a witch, like she's giving you these dreams. And then no one else has a clown dream ever. And I was kind of like, that feels like you just put those in because those were easy jump scares.
Yeah,
like,
but I looked at that as for me with a horror movie, I'm like, we need some spook
for sure. But I was like, I didn't like that they each had it. I almost wish like just she had it, whatever. But then when James sees Gladys in the woods, I was like, oh fuck. But then I was like, was that her? Like, was she out of the house like fucking hunting him in the woods?
Yeah.
And in which case I'm like, I don't know why. Like that was kind of odd to me. You know, like, I thought it was all gonna be mystical.
I think every either vision or nightmare of Gladys was just spook factor.
Yeah, I think so too.
And I have no problem with that.
And I will say though, that did build because when they were like, Alex's parents are here, because we hadn't met them yet.
No.
I assumed they were who Justine saw through the thing, but I was like, I don't know. So then to Marcus, they're like, hey, your 230's here. And he's like, send them in. And he's like, oh, yes, send them in. And I was like, oh, nice, Alex's parents. And then through the fogged glass, you see
a clown.
And I was like, oh, dude.
Yeah.
That was
gnarly.
Sick.
Gnarly.
Yeah. Good transition. Good segue into give me your favorite scare. It doesn't have to be your favorite. Give me a couple of your favorite scares.
For me, not even a jump scare. The Justine asleep in the car scene.
Diabolical. Baker had a nightmare about it.
Yeah.
What was your nightmare?
I just couldn't stop thinking about that scene.
Yeah.
Like, and I woke up and then I tried to like, it's like, don't think about elephants type of thing. Like now it's all I'm thinking about is the demented, like her walking and like, like standing over the car door just for a second. Then like you hear the back door click and
dude,
beautiful framing of that shot. Like her
so
exiting
perfect.
the frame and then just hearing the door.
And man, the walk up was so spooky.
Yeah.
Even that door just being all black. Like you'd open that door and you just like can't see
that,
shit.
by the way, was so well done.
I'm getting chills right now.
Yeah. Every time that door opened, it was kind of witchy.
Yes, dude.
And it was just black behind it.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're sitting there and then she walks out and you're like, oh God. But dude, she stands by the window, leaves frame. Everyone in the theater is waiting for a window smash.
Yeah.
And then just hearing that noise of like the door opening, my theater was like, oh, I wanted to fucking unzip my skin, take it off like a wetsuit and hang it in the closet. Yep. I was so uncomfortable in that scene. It was that, you know, the ripping her Gladys apart will be a horror scene talked about forever. I think so will this.
Dude,
that was some of the best decision making by a horror film director I've ever seen. That was awful.
Correct. And you know me, like I said about the beginning, I'm a melt in these movies. Yeah. So do you see Barbarian?
No, I gotta watch it now.
You should see it. But there's when she finds the door in Barbarian and she's like, I'm gonna go down here. I was like, fuck. Dude. In the theater, I'm literally like, fuck. So when that fucking chick is walking out, I was like, I'm doing like my leg crawl. I'm like, fuck Christ, dude. Like I don't want
going
anything.
out of my eyes.
Yeah, literally. I'm like, I want nothing to do with this.
Sudden.
And then, dude, he got me, dude, because I was like, side-eyeing it, and then she kept going, and I was like, okay, I'm ready for the window smash, but I was kind of looking away because I just didn't want to see the window break, and then you just hear, which I can't hide from, and I was like, oh, no, dude, no.
Horrible. I hated it.
I should have seen this one coming, but Gladys being in the basement when Brolin was looking for Matthew.
Yeah.
That fucked me up.
That was Pennywise in the basement.
I thought he wasn't going to be there. I was like, oh, she took Matthew. So I was like, I was waiting for. I thought he was just going to be like, he's not here.
Yeah.
So I wasn't on edge, and then she was like,
I saw that one coming. Yeah.
Like, oh shit.
You know what one didn't get? Again, I didn't physically jump, but I told CP I got the like adrenaline shot. Was the Gladys on the ceiling?
Yeah, that's with Brolin, right?
I think that was
Justine's.
Oh, that is Justine's.
Yeah. Justine, because she's like looking.
Oh yeah, Brolin was Matthew's
and then
face.
she like lies down. She's like,
because it was a second one.
But I saw that one coming too, because like I feel like I've seen enough horror movies where I'm like, it's a misdirection where she
for sure.
She looks ahead and then all of a sudden it's up.
Yeah,
but
fuck.
It wasn't a jump scare, but I thought Alex's parents being activated to chase Alex was like so like just like creepy and
that was disturbing.
Yeah,
was
I'm
disturbing,
like, imagine your parents attacking you as like a child and like
you've
they're
been doing all this to save them,
and they're trying to like kill you.
Yeah, literally.
And they're yelling. They're like screaming.
Yeah. Alex is goated, dude.
Well, he was goated in that scene. It was funny how many doors there was. Like it kept being like, oh, lock. Oh, lock. And I was like, go get out of here, dude.
God damn.
But goated for his solution. I will say though, one knock on your boy's boy, Alex. What was his last name? Lily. Alex Lily.
I keep saying Lily. I don't know if that's right.
Baffling decision to step over the salt.
Yeah,
baffling decision.
Yeah,
dude,
true.
Like all hell is breaking loose downstairs, and he's like, what's the worst that could happen?
I don't know why he did that.
Me neither.
I think he was like, yeah, that was crazy.
I wanted it to be like, I don't know what I wanted. I wanted him to be doing something like, Mom, like, come on, like trying to get them or something, I don't know. I wanted it to be more accidental than him literally going, ting. And I'm like, dude.
Well, it didn't even feel like an accident. He
literally was like, I'm going to activate that. Yeah. I was like, why, dude?
He's at a loss, man. He
was at a tough time.
I think genuinely he can hear the mayhem going. That was just a sound thing. There was so much calamity going on in that house. And every time we were watching a scene with one person, you couldn't hear the calamity going on elsewhere. And I was like, this is a flaw. There was Alex's parents were trying to eat him like a Thanksgiving turkey upstairs, and Justine can't hear anything going on upstairs. I'm like, at the end, she's like, Alex? I'm like, you didn't hear all that?
Dude, great ending of each POV, I thought. Like, every time they ended a character that we were looking at, it was right when I wanted to be like, I was like, oh no, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I need more of that. And it was like smash to black new name, and you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
That was really sick. And also savage that they don't come back.
Dude, can you believe that?
Like, at the end,
they're like, okay, Gladys is dead. And then they're like, Alex's parents are fucking Vegemite.
Yeah, they get served soup by someone else.
And when she goes, some of them even started to talk again about the kids, I was like, some of them?
I know.
Damn.
It's so creepy the way it ends. It ends so abruptly, but it almost makes it like scarier. Like, oh shit.
Who was narrating, do you think? I was hoping we were going to find that out.
I'm looking at the cast list, and it's just they call her the narrator, and I don't think that she was any of the kids in the class.
I saw someone theorizing it was a kid on TikTok, but I didn't quite buy it.
What'd he say?
It just like
saying that like the narration's like a girl made a TikTok about this town or something.
Someone on TikTok said that the girl narrator was one of the kids that was like in the class.
It was sick.
And when she's like, some of them even started talking again, she's being like me.
Yeah, maybe.
Dude, you know what I thought was going to happen? Or not like exactly was going to happen, but as that was going down, Alex activates the kids to get Gladys.
Yeah.
And I was like, but Justine's still getting choked out, and someone else is in trouble. I can't remember who. Or maybe not.
Alex?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Alex.
he's in trouble.
The parents are coming, and I was like, oh, I see. The kids are ripping her apart, and I was like, as soon as she dies, those are gonna undo.
Yeah.
And which is what did happen. But in that moment, I was like, oh, this is gonna be sick because Alex is now controlling the kids. Like I thought the power had shifted there, and I was like, oh fuck, what are they gonna have to do to Alex? Because they're obviously not gonna kill Alex Lily to get the kids back. But I was like, this is about to be sick. And then it just ends, and they're like, they don't come back. I was like, oh damn, heavy.
We also got to give a shout out to the first girl in the class who fucking form tackles Gladys, because she gets there.
Oh, dude,
they're saying she's moving like prime Ray Lewis out there.
tracking like Brian Dawkins.
She went through 2 doors to get there. Too.
Oh yeah.
Do not slow down.
When you saw her getting ahead of the pack, I was like, this girl.
There was also one where Gladys went left, and she was about to go left, but then she went through the window, and I was like, damn. Even though she's like weaponized, she was like aware enough to like.
Finding the same thought. I was
she's
like,
finding the right route.
I was like, dude, that's bullshit. She's like a heat-seeking missile. She would have gone that way.
That's what I'm telling you,
And then she cut the corner. And
she's angle. She's an athlete, dude. She's taking the right angle.
That was sick.
You don't straight line.
I gotta watch that again to see who was last. What fucking punk ass came up last, dude.
Probably Matthew.
Yeah.
I bet that fucking clown ain't talking.
Dude, I love that, by the way. They kind of like, we feel for Brolin and we want him to get his kid back, but Matthew's such a prick.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, are we going to address this?
You know what I thought? There was that in the Brolin scene when he's like trying to talk. He I think he's having his dream. He has that line where he's talking to me. He's like, I should have said it more times, and you're clearly like, oh, this is the dad who can't say I love you to his son, and then not saying I love you there at the end. Still, I was like, Brolin.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Guy,
speak up, dog.
Get it together.
Speak up.
Might never get another chance.
Yeah. Sick movie.
Sick fucking movie.
Couldn't be. Edge has sent us a TikTok. I'm pumped. Or I guess I should say I'm more pumped that he has Resident Evil. I'm more pumped about Resident Evil than I would have been based on his track record now.
I know. Me too, I think. And listen, I'm going to watch it. I just love original shit. Give me more original
shit. He said
he
was pulling all original shit for it, though. Like, he was like, I'm going to tell my own story.
I bet he will. And also, like, kind of funny Resident Evil.
Yeah. Be cool. Huge shout out Justin Long, too.
Hey, 2025.
Dude, he got like a standing ovation when he popped up on the screen.
People were so pumped. I forget what he says, but he goes like, he has one line to start, and it was so fun because it's something simple. He's like, hi.
I think he's a little upfront.
That was funny too, because Brolin approached his wife first, and she's like, no way I'm letting you see the camera. Yeah. And then like the next scene
when she's just in the living room watching the footage too, I was like, she's staring daggers into Brolin's back. Like, you fucking.
That was hilarious. Yeah.
Unbelievable. All right, quick ad break?
Yeah, let's take an ad break.
I've got a question for you guys. When's the last time that you had a root beer? And
When's the last time you thought about that dog? That dog deep, deep inside you. And then when's the last time you did those things together? Watch this. Ping. This mug root beer is doing all of that for me every single time. We were at Hayden Creek. We were at the Pro Athlete Golf Tour. We were out there. Day 1, played great. Day 2, playing horribly, horribly. We hit that convenience hut, the hideout shack on the back 9. I'm looking in there trying to find something to refuel. And then I see it. I see a diet, caffeine-free mug root beer. Dan looks at me, puts the paws up, knows that that is the exact thing I needed to unlock that inner dog in me, to unlock that inner dog on the course, to turn my entire round around. And that's what it did. That's what mug root beer always does for us. It's incredible. I love it. And it's what I go to. It's my go-to every night, every time I need a little bark, little bite, little... That's what I'm talking about. That's the dog inside you. So if you are craving something cold, ice cold, something frothy, something with unapologetic root beer flavor, I want you to find that dog inside you. I want you to go use the dog nose, go sniffing around until you can find a mug root beer at your local store. Or I want you to go to mugrootbeer.com/find-mug. That's /FIND-MUG. And you can find out how you can get your paws on some, just like I do every day.
Let's wrap this episode up with a classic game. We're doing Trivia Factorial today. For those who are new, I'm giving CP clues to a player. First question is pretty tough, and if he gets it right, he gets 10 points. Next one's a little easier. If he gets it right, he gets 8, 6, 4, 2. I don't do 1 because you don't deserve it. Are you ready, sir?
Yes, I am.
We are starting with question number 1 for 10 points. This former first overall pick won OHL and CHL Rookie of the Year when he posted 76 points with the with the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds.
76 points in one season. Points?
Bro acting like that's going to give him it.
Points?
Yeah.
That's not even that many.
Are you fucking high? It's an OHL season. There's like 38 games.
I feel like Gavin McKenna had like 168 fucking points.
It was his rookie year.
Gavin McKenna?
Is that your guess?
No.
Bro ain't even been drafted.
First overall picks, and he won
OHL and CHL Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year.
When he posted 76 points with the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds.
Okay, I don't know.
For 8 points. After winning the Art Ross, this player was the cover athlete of NHL 2K.
2000?
No, NHL 2K was a different game. NHL.
Yeah.
Fucking dumbass.
I was like, what? Okay, so cover athlete of NHL 2K. He's a Canadian kid. He went first overall, and he won Art Ross. First overall Canadian to win Art Ross. I'm going to try to go through some Art Rosses in my mind really quickly. I got 1 that I can think of. I got 2, but I don't think he was on Sault Ste. Marie. He's Russian, so not him. He's also Russian. I got him. He's Canadian.
I think the hint here is that after the season he won the Art Ross,
yep,
he was then on the cover of NHL 2K.
That guy went first. Okay. I don't have a guess yet, but
Okay.
Yep.
I think you could get this one here. For 6 points. He is the only player in NHL history to win the Hart Memorial Trophy or the Art Ross in a single season while playing for more than one team.
Ooh, sick. Okay, so he won the Hart. You can win the Hart or the Art Ross, but you played for more than one team during that season.
Mm-hmm. Only player to ever do it.
Okay, that's incredible. I know a person. This wasn't who I just had. I can think of a person who is Canadian who went first overall. I can't remember if he played for Sault Ste. Marie, so I don't know if he hit that, and I definitely don't know if he was on the cover of 2K.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm pretty sure he won the Hart in the year he got traded.
So
like
this could be the first 0, but I want to guess.
Okay.
My guess is Jumbo Joe Thornton.
Correct.
Yes, God.
Well done. Question 4 was sitting 14th all-time with 1,539 points. This 8-time All-Star and 2010 Olympic gold medalist somehow does not have a cup in his career playing for the Bruins, Sharks, Maple Leafs, and Panthers.
Okay, I would have got that for sure.
And then question 2, he's known around the league and the hockey world as Jumbo.
Dude.
He won the Hart and Art Ross in that same season.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
If that is not a sonk moment for the Boston Bruins,
Of which they have had many.
It's like there's literally one guy to have ever done this.
God.
He's having a Hart Memorial Trophy season, and you trade him, and you got not a lot of great stuff for him.
Oh my God.
Shout out Marco Sturm, now the head coach of the Boston Bruins.
Yeah, so we got that.
That's kind of funny. Great job. Great episode. Great movie and weapons. Go see it. Beautiful stuff from Dave Goucher. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Guys, we've got great interviews coming up. We got more fun stuff. You know what to do. Follow us on all the socials. Subscribe to the YouTube, you sons of bitches. I know not all of you are subscribed. Send this stuff around to friends. Go buy some merch.
Bang.
You're not wearing any merch.
No.
You got a good fit on today, though.
Thanks.
We love you guys. Can't wait to see you next episode. And until we do,
Skate hard.